You sound better. You don't sound like you're on death's door.
No, today I've been drinking those, they're called drip drops. And it's like you sat on an IV bag for an hour.
Nice.
Or whatever they say.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking those nonstop. I have completely removed myself from anywhere near my kids or Justin because I don't care what nobody say. It's the Delta and I don't want your viral load. Get away from me. So I just made myself a little fort. I've got my little computer. I'm able to do my little work. Don't come near me unless you need medication or a drink. Do not. It's a no mommy zone.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like, when you're at the tail end of something and your face feels all dried out and crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crackly just beneath the surface.
Yep.
So I'm feeling like I'm drying out and I'm going to get better.
That's good.
But I think that, it's just the only two unvaccinated people in this house are the ones who really had the low-grade fever. And they're like, well, it was a low-grade fever, so, and your test came back negative, so, it's just a common cold. I'm like, you say that. See what I'm saying? You say that. But I'm telling you it's Delta. That's what I'm telling you. And I think the Delta can bypass the little test. That's what I really think.
Oh,
because
God.
Justin's been sick since the super spreader came home. Since Shira came home. And that's the problem. Is we trusted Shira in the outside world to wear her mask and to get it right. And she was the first one that came in here talking about, my stomach hurts. I feel warm in my face. And I swallow, my neck hurts. And I was like, Delta. See there? The little one, it was the Delta. And so now that Maja's the main one, like, she felt better within a couple days. She was back at camp on Friday. She was laid out 2 days and then felt better, of course.
Yeah.
But Maja's the one that's been hacking. And I have to be careful what I say around her because the other day I called her Delta behind her back. And she was like, I heard that.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, you coughing your little Delta shit all over everybody, so. She's like, but I don't have Delta. It was Shira. I was like, it is true that it was Shira.
Oh, my God.
But,
you're going to give them a complex.
As they should. Because I said, wear that fucking mask. Because Shira was the one that was touching things, and I can guarantee was the one who took her mask off. Because we wouldn't have been sick. See, we wouldn't have been sick. But I said,
no, that's not true. Because Quinn had strep at the end of the school year. Her friend at school had strep, and they were masked all day long at school and never near each other without masks. So masks help, but they're not, no, you're not invincible. They're going to get sick. Things are going to happen, especially, now that they're out in the world. I mean, masks aren't, it's not like a magic shield, a force field.
Right. And so, but I did have a magic force field when I didn't let nobody leave the house. And say, look. So we're back to magic force field up in here.
Oh,
and
no.
Remember
Really?
2 or 3 weeks ago? Yes.
Oh,
100% yes. 100% yes. Plus, the wording is wrong on breakthrough infection because the wording breakthrough makes it seem like it's rare and, oh, God. No. If you get the flu shot, you can get the flu. It's not rare. You can still get sick. You just ain't gonna die.
Yeah.
But you can still get sick.
Yeah.
And so people are out here with no mask, having themselves a good old time, while their children are still not vaccinated. And that's the problem.
I think that's the hard part, yeah.
The two little ones, until the two little ones are vaccinated, then it's still a force field out here. In fact, we're gonna let this little fucking camp shit ride out. Oh, God, they've missed so much camp. And, like, when you calculate it by the day, I'm like, every day I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm approaching between copays and Krav Magas and other things that I have not been able to attend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get to the $1,000 mark here soon. Mm-hmm.
That is the worst. Oh my God, I hate that when they miss shit and then you're calculating. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. The worst.
So I'm going to just let this camp thing ride out. I was going to re-up them and give them, the whole 8-week experience.
Yeah.
But no, baby. Or I should just let them, because now they have the antibodies. Look, I'm insisting that they have Delta. I don't care. Now they have the antibodies. I should just let them ride out.
Let them. Here's the thing. Let them ride it out, because who knows what's going to happen this fall and winter. At least give them some, they need mentally, physically, they need this. This is good.
It was good until they came home and got my ass sick.
Yeah.
I had a good
no fun when mom gets sick.
Months. I was riding out 18 months in here, not a nan sniffle, until the fucking trees started pollinating, bitch. I was in here doing great. I was Tony the motherfucking Tiger in here. And now look. Every time I look at Shira, I'm like, oh, you're so cute. I would have fucking punched you in the fireplace. You did this. No, but you're right. I should keep them in the camp, because at the end of the day, I'm not homeschooling again. So
right. No.
I might as well get used to this sensation of the inevitability of my kids getting sick from other people's rancid-ass kids. I'm just going to have to get okay with it.
Yeah.
And then just, hope that nobody ends up on a ventilator. That's all you could do.
I'm out of fucks to give. I just wrote that in the Discord. I was like, I can't anymore. I don't give a shit. I just have to pretend like masks are normal and this is what we're doing in public forever. Because
wait, when you say you don't give a shit, you mean like you are done worrying about it?
I'm done worrying about it. Like it's not going away. It's going to get worse. So all I can continue to do is what I've continued to do. But at some point I was like, I have to keep like living my life. So I cannot go back to March, April 2020. So I will continue going to the store masked. I will continue working masked. I will continue living life. My kids will go back to school in the fall, because I just can't. I'm so fucking over it. I don't want to read the news. I don't want to hear the articles. I don't want to hear the, the fear mongering. Like, I know you
it's
love
not fear
this.
mongering.
I
though.
can't.
It's not fear mongering though. I don't love this, but it's not fear mongering. It's literally not fear mongering. It's truth telling.
But it's like oh, I can't control other people. I can't control it. All I can control is myself and my environment. So like, I don't fucking care anymore. People can go live their lives and do their own thing. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about it. I'm so tired of talking about it. I'm so tired of like worrying every time somebody goes out. Like, just the mental like hamster wheel. It's exhausting. How much more can people sustain?
Well, they wouldn't have to sustain it if everybody gave a shit. But everybody doesn't.
I'm done.
And that's the vicious cycle. Like, I'm not done being mad at people that don't give a shit. I'm never going to be. Like, when people are still like, everybody's going to do what's best for their family, I still don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
What's best for your family is everybody stay the fuck in a mask. And then we can move through this together. And that's the problem. Is this is going to be a community approach. It's a global community approach. And as long as people keep acting like individuals in the world, we're going to continue to have this problem. So I don't think it's fear-mongering. I think, like, King Gutter Baby says the same shit, except she says it really nice. It's still, if that's, what people need to hear. But if you could say it nice or mean, motherfuckers are still going to do what they want to do. And that's just it. And I get being tired of, like, worrying about it.
Yeah.
But, like, come fall, there are going to be parents that want their unvaccinated children still to be in a mask. And the people that are tired of worrying about it are going to go, it's fine. If the state says they don't have to wear a mask, it's okay. And then they're going to wonder why everybody's still getting sick. And that don't make no kind of sense.
I think that the kids should definitely, I mean, as everything that I've read thus far says that unvaccinated kids, at least in the state of Ohio, I'm pretty sure, are going back masked, which is fine. It's fine. Let them go back masked. I don't see any problem with it. As somebody yesterday, I took Bennett to go get a haircut, and this woman was waiting in there, and the boys and I were the only ones in the shop wearing masks. And this woman was sitting there waiting her turn, and she seemed flustered when she came back in. She got up and she was like, do I have to have a mask on or no? And they were like, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to have a mask on. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't know if that's what we were doing. And she like looked in our direction, and I was like, why is my masked face and my masked son's bothering you? Like they don't have the vaccine. They can't get it right now. So why is this? It was just very weird. It was the first time that I've like felt uncomfortable by somebody.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not done being mad at that kind of person.
It was odd.
That wasn't odd. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was trying to get a rise out of a motherfucker. And on a different day, you might have punched the motherfucker in the mouth. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. What the fuck I'm doing is helping you, bitch. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. Like, why does it matter? So weird. So weird.
And then she came in there with a huff and puff. Bitch, are you paying for my children's haircuts?
Right.
And that's the thing that's so annoying about it is people's level of precaution is literally helping you. So why the fuck are you looking at me crazy?
Yeah, it's like you don't know where my kids have been. You don't know who they've been around. For all you know, they could be out, you know.
And the next time that happens and you're uncomfortable, I would just be like, my children have leukemia. You fucking bitch. What's next? Because that's where I'm at. I really want you to look at me crazy when I have a mask on. Because that's happened too. I've been in Trader Joe's and Costco.
Yeah.
That might be. We might have to take that back off the list. It was cute it was a nice little 3-week run of going in the store, but that, because motherfuckers don't have a mask on in there.
Yeah.
And like, you can feel people's disdain towards your mask, and you're like, really, bitch? You don't know what's going on inside my body?
Right.
I could straight up have lupus, motherfucker. You don't know.
Yeah.
Or I could have COVID, you dumb bitch.
Right.
What about that?
Yeah.
And here I think that because July 12th, I think they said in camp, children are not required to wear masks anymore. Mm-hmm. And so the school district sent us an email saying that. And I was like, oh, come fall, the Facebook's going to be lit again. The moms and dads Facebook's going to be lit again with motherfuckers arguing.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And I'm going to have to dust my little account off and be like, first of all, bitch. And that's just it. That's just it. I had to cuss Justin out. Justin Beck was sick of me too. Of my, quote, fear-mongering. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Who's the sickest in this motherfucker right now? Your ass.
That's because he's a man.
He did not have a mask on in the supermarket and looked at me crazy when I literally stopped in front of the fucking bananas and was like, are you for real right now? Babe, we're going to be in here 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck? I said, the fuck you are. Put your mask on. It's fucking 5 minutes. I'm fucking vaccinated. And I'm like, but you look MAGA and you're with me. And so that's a problem. That's the problem that I have, number one. And number two, you could still get this shit. Oh my God, my fucking ear hurts. You know what's going to really hurt? Your motherfucking lungs when they're full of fucking Swiss cheese assholes, bitch. Put the fucking mask on.
Oh.
So he's mad at me about that. But guess who's back on the page? Mm-hmm. He had the nerve after the doctor's appointment. Okay, girls, listen, before we get out of the car, I want to have a good talk with you. So we went and we got our COVID test and we're all negative. And then we went to the pediatrician and he said we just have a cold. So think about it. We just got lucky. We managed to catch a cold, but we didn't catch COVID. So I want you guys to understand that we still got to be washing our hands. We still got to be really careful with our masks. Okay? Do you understand? I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck? You was the one in the fucking supermarket without a mask on. Now you suddenly a public service announcement for the children. Okay. I need to understand about you, the person that's going to be in my life, that you are like, yeah, it's fucked up. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think it's fucked up, then why do you want to be around here? That's the part I don't get, is when they're upset that you don't want to fuck with them. Like, you should not like me, remember?
Yeah, I think it's that whole, like, that it's that belief that, like, I can take some of this, but I don't have to take all of it. And I think that it was excused in 2016 that I can take some of this and not take all of it, because I don't think that people truly understood or wanted to see, or, you know, whatever, like all of the facets of what it meant to support Donald Trump, or, you know, to be a Republican that sided with him. And by 2020, I think that if you didn't recognize that, like, you can't have just parts of this and you can't just turn a blind eye to it anymore, I think that that was the hard thing for people who supported him in 2016 to reconcile in 2020. Like, if the last 4 years didn't change your mind, then yeah, you really probably shouldn't hang out with me.
Yeah, and the other part is a lot of them that just shut up. You know, they took their flags down and just shut up. But then they still want you to be cool with them. Like, but I know that you are just quiet now. That's actually worse for me. It is. That's actually covert. Worse for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have more respect for the person in the hat. Be that shit. Say that shit. Do that shit. 100%. You are really out in the world with that opinion, and you don't give a shit what people say about you. There's a level of, like, respect I have for that. You're dumb as fuck, but
yeah,
you're also not scared of the consequences of that action. So I'm like, you know what? Do that shit. It's the quiet, secret, surreptitious ones that are really the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't get how we're going to get it, like, around it. We're not.
Well, we're not. No.
And, like, I feel bad, you know, sometimes I feel bad. Like, dang, I just wrote a motherfucker off. But then I'm like, I had to do that, though. Because they're wrong. Period. Well, I can't trust my child in their house.
Yeah, if it costs you your peace, then, you know, and I think the things that we're talking about are actual, like, serious consequences. Like, if you believe that, you know, I don't know, if you don't believe that Black Lives Matter, there's a serious consequence to that. This isn't saying, like, I don't like to eat hot dogs. This is, people's lives are at stake. This is kind of a big deal.
But they also, the worse than that is that I'm not saying that Black lives don't matter. I'm saying Black Lives Matter is fine. It's why do they have to loot? It's all lives matter, don't you think? It's that level of, like, cognitive dissonance that in my face, you're playing in my face now. Yeah. And that's where I have the problem. Like, if every time someone says Black Lives Matter and you bring up, but is looting okay? Then you really are, you're I don't even know why you want to be my friend. Because that's the dumbest ass shit you could have said to me. Yeah. Why the fuck would you say that? What the fuck does looting have anything to do with anything? Right. Number one. And number two, bitch. The fucking man at the AutoZone started that shit, and that was a white ass cop, so shut the fuck up. I just don't. I get so tired, but it's all and like we could rest a little bit, but in 2024 it's coming again. It's happening again.
I know. I hate it here.
Is it going to be him? I don't know.
I hope not. Oh, for Christ's sake, please, universe.
But it's going to happen again. And that's and the thing about it is, whether or not it's him, we still have to contend. Like, fuck him. 74 million people. That means guaranteed They're all around you.
Yeah.
They're the virus.
Do you ever think about, like, lately I've been having these feelings about, like, I just would love to pack up and move to like a deserted island, like somewhere up in Canada. Like, I've been looking at these properties that are just a house on an island surrounded by water in the trees, or moving my family into an RV, or just moving my family out of the country, period. I don't know
That
if
is
it's.
so crazy you said that.
Do you have those feelings?
That is so crazy you said that, because that notion, that idea was just brought into my worldview literally last week.
What?
So, like, I'm not a person that would ever want to live in an RV, whatever. But then I started thinking about the points this guy made about the peace that you could have with, just divorcing yourself from this society. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's onto something.
Yes.
So Justin has a childhood friend who lives in upstate New York. Mm-hmm. Super hardcore shut-in, total believers in the virus, super not MAGA, double vaxxed, and they only come down here very rarely in the past year because of the pandemic. But once his parents got vaccinated, he and his wife felt it was okay for them to, integrate their toddler. They had a kid right before the pandemic, so the kid's almost 2 now.
Yeah.
And so has missed out on a whole grandparent's life.
Yeah.
So he brought his daughter down to see his parents, who live on Long Island on the Blue Lives Matter MAGA side, where all the flags are every 10 feet, and it's a completely fucking triggering. Anyway, we're sitting, they came for dinner. And he doesn't live here anymore. He grew up here. And so when they were kids, didn't feel as MAGA, I'd say.
Yeah.
It was, it was Jewish people. But now it's feeling very like MAGA-y. Yeah. And he was like, yo, what happened in just driving, like, to run an errand? He was like, it was just thin blue line, Blue Lives Matter, Trump. And he's like, the whole town. And he's like, I just can't, I don't get it. He's like, this is the place we grew up. Like, this is crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the place you grew up. Obviously, some of the demographic has changed, but not all that much. Everybody's just louder about the bullshit they believe in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donald. So he said, I think about it sometimes because they live upstate. And he was like, and upstate, it was really quiet for a minute, when they first bought up there. And he's like, but now, he's like, you can see people's ideologies by whether or not they have a mask on. And he was like, and so it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So he's like, I was thinking, I think all the time, I should just move my wife and my kid to wherever. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, all I want to do is grow weed, drink he has coffee on a tap thing. He's like, I want to do that. And he was like, and I can work remotely. He works for like a tech company. He's like, so what do I need society for? And I was like, the way he packaged it, I was like, huh.
Like all those like 60s communes, like that, like idea of every time the guy that we buy our lawn care stuff from, he lives out in Lebanon, and that means nothing to you, but it's about 30 minutes north of the city, 40 minutes north of the city. And it's literally, there's nothing out there. And the place where they live is like off of this little 2-lane road. It is remote. There is nothing going on. And every time I drive out there, I'm like, God damn, this is perfect. Like, is it inconvenient? Sure. But the idea of just like selling everything and just going someplace remote is so appealing to me right now. I have no desire to be here where we are. It's very strange. And this has only been like over the last like couple of months. And I don't know if it's pandemic exhaustion, if it's just all of this shit, you know, coming to a head over the last year and a half, but I'm done. I'm done being here right now.
And I think that where we are in our lives, you know, with school-aged kids, that's where the monkey wrench comes into play.
Homeschooling sucks.
Right. Yeah, that's the problem is you got to commit to that lifestyle.
Right.
100% if you want to do that. Then you got to say, I'm now responsible for the education of my children. And that's where you kind of get into like a weird, I wouldn't say hypocrisy, but like a weird gray area where you're like, you're done with this and you say, fuck this. But at the same time, I need my kids to learn in a public school setting, but the public school setting is just a reinforcement of the society that you live in.
Yep.
You know? So like if you look at it now, like they're all really upset about critical race theory. Critical race theory just means teaching the true history of this country. That's all it means. It don't mean nothing else. It don't mean nothing more than that.
Right.
It's making you upset because you're going to have to admit to your kids that we are founded on a fucking literal white supremacy is the fucking foundation of our country. Like, and that makes people upset, but like, it is what it is. You want to teach them the truth, don't you? How the fuck did you make Juneteenth a fucking federal holiday, but then you can't teach the children why the fuck we need a Juneteenth? You know, like, so it's trying to get around all that shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't homeschool my kids, so how can I go live on this island?
Right. I know. My kids don't want that life. But I do. And I'm so tired of, I don't know. Maybe you don't want that life, but right now you're just peopled out. And that could be it, you know, and this is the very weird, like, you know, you're craving, or at least I'm craving this sense of normalcy. I'm craving this pre-2020 life that I had that was very, you know, unfettered. But at the same time, like, Quinn just went to stay with my mom. She left on Sunday to spend a few days with her. And this is something that she's been doing since she was like 3. Very normal. My mom will take her for like a week in the summer. She's had a very hard time. She's been crying since Sunday. She wants to come home. She wants to come home. And on Monday, she was like, can I please come home on Wednesday? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You know, and I almost was wondering, like, is she having separation anxiety that she's never had before because she spent so much time up in this house?
Yeah, and also it's that age.
Yeah, but shouldn't she want to be getting away from me? That's what I don't understand.
She should, but they also like, what? Listen, their grandmothers are wonderful, but what's their grandmother talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and that's another layer of transition. Like, Burnett has been trying to connect with Shalom, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
Shalom is 12 and doesn't give a shit about any of this. She wants to be in her comfortable room where her stuff is.
Yeah. And I think that's what Quinn wants. She's like, I just want to sleep in my bed. And I was like, wow, God, you are my kid.
Yeah, where before it was none of that mattered. So now they have attachments and personalities that don't fit this thing that they're used to and have been doing their entire lives.
Yeah.
So, and I'm then trying to, like, because his parents are being like, you know, it feels like Shalom is she okay? She seems sad. And I'm like, she's not sad. That's just who she is now.
Yeah.
She's 12 and she's figuring out that she's her own person, and her own person don't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes take it personally. I'd be like, what the fuck? I do all this shit to be nice to you, and you're still in here, like, you know, looking all sad. And I've had to say, I get it. It's not about me, but when I come around, I'm going to need those shoulders unhunched and a smile, because I'm not, I'm taking it personally, and I don't want to see that shit. And I think that your desires to get away from all this is that it's a fucking added stressor in your life.
Yeah.
You can't unknow what you now know. So prior to that fucking jackass being the president, we were all really cool swimming in our oblivion.
Yeah.
I mean,
God.
I wasn't. I've always hated a lot of people for a lot of reasons. But
no, you're right. You're right. I was happy. I was really happy just getting along to get along. I mean,
right,
I knew shit was fucked up, but yeah, now you can't unknow it, and I hate it.
You can't unknow it, and then you're also like, and I choose to live here.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're all loud with your opinions and shit, and at the same time you're like, but then I still live here. So.
Right.
I know, it's a hard, and I'm a person that can't disconnect things. Like, I'm like, yeah, I said this, but then I'm doing this. So that makes me a piece of shit. But I do think that, like, when Justin and I get old,
yeah,
I could see us fucking, if we only fuck with each other, what do we need all this other shit for?
Oh, I'm moving to the desert. I'm moving to Palm Springs. That's it. I'm leaving. I'm living in the desert. And not even like in Palm Springs proper. Like, I want to live in like the middle of fucking Joshua Tree. When I step outside, it's eerily quiet. Nobody come bother me.
Yeah, and so I think what you do as an adult is you start to create that where you can while you're still raising your kids in an environment where they need society. And I think that that's probably always been who me and Justin are. Like, people have always thought we're weird. Like, what do you mean you don't talk to your neighbors? Why would we start those relationships? For what? We ain't gonna be talking to motherfuckers 20 years from now. Why the fuck start talking to them now? For what? And that's how that's how I really feel, though. I don't want to see their house. I don't want to hear what's going on at their house. I don't need a friendly smile from them. I don't.
Yeah.
Because they're part of a world that doesn't have to exist for me. Why would I create it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally 100%. Yeah.
And so I think what's really happening is, you know, you got to create your misanthropic life in the fucking boundaries that you can create it. And that's hard for people. That's hard for people because, like, think it's valuable to socialize your kids and to socialize interpersonally and all that. And when you have to bend to that will, it's you not being your authentic self. So you're like,
So then how do you find the balance, though? Because my kids are all so different. Like, Lennox is the cruise director. He's going to be friends with everybody. He wants to talk to everybody. He wants to go places. He wants to be in public. So how do you honor that in your kids and, you know, and give them what they need as individual humans, but then still hold that space for yourself? Or is that the $1 million question?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm starting to, like, see that.
Yeah.
That's just the part you have to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be a social butterfly at all, but I do want my kids to have friends. Yeah. So for my kids to have friends, I'm going to just do this shit for now. Yeah. But think about it. Think about, here's a good example. Shorty and Mercy.
Yeah.
Literally did not, the fact that they had kids was a non-issue in how they were going to live their life. Like, it's true. Like, I really don't recall my mom, like, reaching out to a classmate and being like, oh, the girls seem to get along, want to do this and that. Like, that would never happen. Yeah. My dad was not, you know, enrolling us in sports and shit because he thought that was important. It just wasn't happening. They were adults living their adult life and making sure their kids were, you know, clean, fed, and healthy. that was it. But like our kid life wasn't the priority, and like the quality of our kid life.
Yeah.
And when I say quality of kid life, I don't mean like, I mean like the kid quality of our kid life. They
Right.
didn't give a shit.
They weren't trying to vacation in Disney. They weren't trying to, you know, make sure that their weekends were full of things that would keep you happy and entertained. It was, you guys just folded into whatever it is that they had planned or didn't.
Right. And so, you know, Shorty's going to the barbershop today. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But can we? No. Didn't nobody. How are you having an opinion? Do you got gas money for all that? Do you know how to drive? Do you pay bills? Do you pay taxes? Don't nobody give a shit what the fuck you want to do. And like, we just adapted.
Yeah.
And so when I started to have kids, I personally felt sad about, you know, what other kids had that I didn't have. So
Yeah.
that's where I get my, I want my kids to have this, so I'm going to sacrifice the curmudgeon in me
Uh-huh.
and do the things that I don't necessarily want to do, because I want my kids to not look back and go, wow, my mom didn't give a fuck about the kid quality of my life. You know?
Yeah.
So that's there is no balance. There's, you give up that part of who you are until your kids are up out of your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are some people who, they're gregarious and that's who they are. And I feel jealous about that sometimes, that have that naturally, you know?
Oh, Chris has that. And sometimes I think that life would be so much easier if I had that. And I am jealous. My sister has that. My mom has that. My dad and I do not. And I think life would be 10 times easier if that personality like was available to me, and it's just not.
So your dad, like, what's your dad's day to day? He's not like, does he have exterior friends? Does he
No.
go places? So he's just kicking. He has a chair that he likes.
Yeah.
He has a show he likes.
Well, and this is what concerns me, is because for my dad, I'm concerned for him the day that he chooses to retire, because he gets up, you know, he would do his little workout. So he get his little HIIT workout in. He goes to work. He does his job. He comes home and he just kicks it. He's going to have dinner. He might watch a show and then he's going to go to bed. He doesn't have a social life. He never has. Like when he was married to my mom, like my mom's friends were my dad's friends, and my mom was the social director, and she was the one that, you know, filled their social calendar with activities, and my dad was just, you know, there, and he was cool to like hang out and not talk to anybody. And I'm the same exact way. It's crazy.
I love it. And like, I'm sitting here like, and this man worked his whole life.
Yep.
To be able to come home to his house filled with his stuff and the things he likes to eat and the things he likes to drink, and then nobody telling him he got to go do some shit. Right. That sounds wonderful to me.
But I worry he's going to need a hobby. He's going to need, like, he's never not worked. So.
No, he'll need a hobby, and he'll need like a thing to look forward to and do, just so that he can keep his brain going, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And his body doesn't deteriorate. But honestly, like, what you described is how I see Justin's parents. I think his mom is the one who, her friends' husbands are Jeff's friends. That's who he hangs out with. So, you know, she sets the schedule, she sets the dinner, she sets the party or whatever it's going to be. And he is cool to go there, but he's also cool to not go. He can not do it too. You know? And so I think about that for my parents. Like, they're just each other's thing, but then they also don't socialize. So, like, Justin and I are like the Shorty and Mercy, and you are like the Jeff and Burnett.
Yeah. Yeah, but Chris isn't really making plans either. He can go into a social situation and be comfortable and make friends and know everybody in the room. But when it comes to like, you know, making plans on the weekends, like we're each other's plans.
Yes. I love that. When Justin wakes up on Saturday morning and goes, what do we have planned for the day?
Ew.
He means, what are the errands that you need to run that I'm going to go with you on?
Oh,
That's
okay.
what the fuck he
Okay.
means.
Oh, that's good. I thought he meant like, what are we doing? Like, how are we going to be entertained? Gross.
Oh, no. Only in the pandemic when he was like getting really fucking sick of sitting in here
Yeah.
did he start that, let's go outside, let's start that little Justin Beck adventure bullshit.
Okay.
Only then, and that was when it was getting on my nerves. But we're
Yeah.
back to, Melissa said we need an air mattress. Melissa said we need 4 new pillows. Melissa said, you know, fucking, we got to change the filters. And Melissa said she wants to, you know, find the fucking plantain chips at Trader Joe's. So that's what we're doing today.
That's like the perfect weekend.
Yeah. And like I have my person to do that with. So I just got to get my kids to fucking college.
Yeah.
And then he and I are going to be in here. That's it. But I do think about that. Like, think about, like, Jeff and Burnett have a robust social life with their little friends. You know, they have their dinners and their this and their that. And Justin and I don't have that.
Yeah.
We have friends, but, like, we're not included in, like, group plans and shit. Because everyone just assumes, why would the Becks want to come to that? They're not doing that.
Yeah. That's
But, like, how is that going to affect our old life?
I maybe you travel by yourselves. I don't know. I don't think you have to have a robust social life to be happy. I just don't think that that's for everyone. I want to be invited, but I'm not coming.
Yes. I had a thought spiral 2 weekends ago.
Uh-huh.
Where I was just convinced that a lifelong friend no longer liked me. And Justin was like, babe, what's happening here is you want to be invited, but they know not to invite you because you ain't trying to go to that.
Right.
But he didn't come to that. He let me melt down.
Oh.
For 2 and 4 days before he came to that realization. Yeah. So, like, rather than have the solution at hand, which was, babe, it's you, he instead did it as, babe, it's you, you're fucking weird, no one wants to hang out with you, da-da-da-da. So I internalized all the shit, but the reality was he was saying, you want to be invited, but you don't want to go. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I say yes, you know, on every 12th invite, just so that they don't stop inviting me. But I'm going to dread the whole day, the whole week, actually. Let's be real. I'm going to dread the whole week leading up to it. I'm going to dread the day of. I'm going to try to cancel probably like 5 times before it actually happens. And the last time that it happened, Chris was like, if you don't want to go, if this isn't fun for you, then why go? And I was like, well, because I don't want them to like think that I don't like them. And he's like, but maybe they should do things that you want to do. And I was like, wow. And I recognize that not everybody is going to bend to my will and just like want to sit at my house and watch Netflix. But it really did make me think. And I was like, wow, maybe he is right. Maybe I do need maybe more friends that are not, I don't know.
No, that matters. I have a friend, Megan, my friend Megan. Megan understands me.
Yeah.
Completely. Megan knows that when I say, hey, want to hang out? She knows that I mean you, Megan. Come over here. Not me go over there. I'm not doing that. She knows what that means. You come over here. I'm going to, what do you want for lunch? You think we're going to order burritos or you want to do sushi? What are you thinking about? I don't know. Fucking spaghetti? What do you want to fuck with spaghetti? We have our food plan. And
yeah.
She knows that I need her to be a cat. and sit on the edge of my sofa. Here's a remote. Here's a blanket. I just want you in the building. I just want to feel Megan's love emanating into the space while I have things to do. So I can be scrubbing a toilet. I could be emptying the dishwasher. I could go on fucking the computer
you don't even
real quick.
You don't sit with her?
I will when I'm ready to. And she's fucking cool with it because she's scrolling her phone. She's watching a murder show. She's taking phone calls. Oh, sorry, Melissa, I have to take this. And, she, you know, I hear her put her mom voice on. Yes, I'm Wyatt's mother. How are you? And then she hangs up and she's like, anyway, do you want to smoke this fucking joint now? Like, that's the quality of friendship that I think you need to find.
Yeah.
That's not in Chris. So that you feel less left out. If all of your friends are social beings and, you know, the group is getting together and we're going to go to the botanical gardens and we're taking the kids and this and that. Like, that sounds great because they're taking the kids. You're like, okay, so we'll fucking take the kids. We'll do this, it'll be a nice day for the kids. But where you, the person, are fulfilled inside of a friendship, outside of who you are as a wife, outside of who you are as a mom, you got to find what your ideal friendship looks like and create that. And so Megan is my idea of an ideal. She doesn't live too far. I can get to her. She can get to me. We have kids the same age. Our kids could come and hang out together, or they could not. You know, sometimes we put the kids together, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's like a safe space like that. Like Lisa, for example. Lisa can also come. And when Lisa comes, pre-pandemic, she stayed because she didn't live in this state.
Yeah.
But if Lisa's guest bedroom door is closed and she's in there with her dog, I don't know what she's doing. But she's up in here and I feel the love.
Yeah. Yeah, I have one of those friends. She can come. I mean, and it's usually like we have our kids because she doesn't she doesn't have a ton of places where she can drop them. And her husband, they own a business, so he's always busy with that. So, and it's fine. I like her kids. They're well behaved. They're kind. They get along with my kids. But she's probably the only one that I can just be like cleaning my kitchen and she sits at the bar. She's the one that brought me the razors and the wine last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't seen her in so long. It's been this pandemic. Fuck this pandemic.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're missing that level of friendship. And so, but you know, then I have other friends. I have other friends who, you know, we work out together and we'll go grab sushi lunch together. And I miss that. No kids.
Yeah.
Those women fulfill me there. And, you know, I'm in a group chat with them and we talk about kid shit and we talk about other people and it's great. But, like, this pandemic has made that level of intimacy go away.
Yeah.
And so it makes you feel like, okay, I'm going to go live in Joshua Tree because fuck all this shit. But what really might be happening is, wow, I miss my quality of life before we had to live this way.
Yeah.
And if your husband is your best friend, which my husband is my best friend, you've been around that motherfucker 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
And you're like, are we really best friends? Because you get on my nerves right now.
And as of today, we've been together for 20 years.
Wait a
decades.
Wait. It's your fucking wedding anniversary and we're wasting time on this podcast?
Oh, no, not my wedding anniversary. I still fully make him celebrate our first date. This is 20 years since we had our first date.
Oh my God, July 14th was your first date 20 years ago?
Uh-huh.
July 14th, 2001?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You've been with the same motherfucker for 20 years. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
I know. He must have traded a really nice bottle of bourbon for a very fancy bottle of champagne that has our wedding. I don't know. How do they date champagne? Like the year it's made, I guess? This is dated 2006. So he traded it and thought he'd be cute. And so today he was like, do you want to bust open this bottle of champagne? And I was like, yeah, because who fucking knows if we'll even be here in September? And he was like, wow, that was really morbid. And I was like, let's bust it open. I was like, it's 20 years. This is a big deal. We're doing way better than a lot of our friends and family. So
listen,
celebrate.
And that's what, think about it. Just liking the person you picked 20 years later is a big fucking deal.
It's a huge deal. Not wanting to murder them every single morning. Oh, God, I got to look at this fucking asshole again.
Or imagining murdering them and then feeling sad that you imagined it because you're like, I do really like him. God damn it. I mean, like when I have remorseful thoughts about wanting to kill a motherfucker, I'm like, I still love him, man. I still love him.
I like you and I love you and I actively choose to be with you every single day.
Every single day.
That's something.
What are you talking about? That's something. That's fucking hard. And I think it's actually not a way that humans are wired. I mean, it's how I'm wired. But the general public is not wired that way. People are always seeking excitement and this and that. I don't want excitement. I want regular. Yes. I don't need spontaneity. I want to know my motherfucking man left the house and went to where the fuck he said he was going to go. He collected some money and then came back up in here and gave it to me. And I want that forevermore.
Yes. Oh my God.
So
yes.
I found a responsible, lovely person who I'm still sexually attracted to all these years. Because keep in mind, I don't want to talk to men. Ever.
I don't want to go on another date with somebody I don't know.
Ever.
Nope.
Ever. I don't want to get to know somebody. I don't care, sir. I don't care about anything you have to say. I don't give a shit. Do you leave the house and go to work and come back with the money? Is that what you do? Because that's what I like to do. Okay.
There's great comfort in knowing that you have somebody who likes the things that you like, eats the things that you eat, watches the shows that you watch. There's something.
Girl, I don't even have that. He hates everything I like. We don't eat the same shit. But he's still my main motherfucker. I love him.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I mean it. Like, please listen to my heartbeat as I tell you. That's a fucking really big deal and like an accomplishment. I know people don't think it is. People are like, getting married is not an accomplishment. Yes, it is.
Oh, for sure.
Getting married to a person that you can deal with for the rest of your fucking life is a big fucking deal.
It's a huge fucking deal. And I would still be with him even if we weren't married. Like, he's it.
If he was like, I just don't see that we need to be married, it would annoy you, but he would still be with you. That'd be your man.
Yeah. I'd still make you buy me a ring.
Yep. Justin Beck didn't want to get engaged. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna fucking talk shit every day until I get that ring. But you're still stuck with me. I don't know who the fuck you think you're going out with. I don't know who, where, who, Justin, where, what lady is it gonna be? Huh? Mm-hmm. I mean, I say that for me. I'm pretty sure. I'm certain that there might. No, never mind. I take that back. I was gonna say I'm certain that there might be someone out there that is a good fit for Justin, equally as good as me, but no. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
You're a very specific breed. There's no... Justin is a very specific breed. There's really no...
Oh, Justin, and that's why I'm like, we gotta stay fit together. We gotta like... because once one goes, the other one's gonna go down quick.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I do believe that. Like, if I go before him, oh, God, that poor thing. It's going to be a wrap for him. All right, well, is it going to be WFT since it's 20 years? Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Well, my period started today.
Yes! Your period is like the biggest cock blocker ever.
And my mother-in-law has offered to take the kids Friday or Saturday or Friday and Saturday.
Well, if it ain't WFT.
I know. What that mouth do?
It better be TMJ. Yep. Yeah. Because you can't be excited about 20 years and then mark the special day with nothing. That's crazy.
I mean, listen, we did not have sex on our first date, so it's not like I'm really having to like reenact anything. You get it when you get it. I always make good. The end. I don't know. I'll have to do something.
Well, ever since Delta been in my household, I haven't had to do nothing. I kind of like, thank you, Delta. I just been in here chilling. Pussy on ice. Yeah, baby. Bye, stupid.
Bye. Oh, God. From the bottom of our chuggy hearts, we want to thank you for showing up every week, for listening, for coming to Monday Night Lives. This podcast would be nothing without our community of stranger friends, so thank you, thank you, thank you. You can find new episodes of this podcast every Friday at midnight Eastern. We have interactive stories that we post on our Instagram that go along with every episode. So if you're just joining us, within the first 24 hours after an episode is released, you can find that story live on our Instagram at imperfectstrangers_podcast. And if you want to check out stories that have come with previous episodes, those are all saved in our highlights, all 50 odd episodes, all saved there. So jump on in there, give us a follow, join in the conversation that's happening on Instagram. If you're on Twitter, you can follow us at imperfstrangers. We have a website, imperfectstrangerspodcast.com. And if you would like to throw a coin to your favorite podcasters, we have a Patreon. Patreon is a great way to support your favorite creatives, your makers that you enjoy their work. So we are bootstrapping this bad boy ourselves, but your contributions through Patreon help us. And in return, we give you lots of extra bonus goodies that nobody but patrons get to see. So we do patron-sponsored episodes. We have a newsletter. We archive our Monday Night Lives over there. We have bonus audio content, little mini episodes that come out every single week. We just did our first patron-only live watch-along event. We have a newsletter. We have a private Discord. So we hope that you will join us on Patreon along with your other stranger friends. It's a good old time over there. You can, what do I want to say? Does anybody else's brain just feel like it's slowly leaking out of their ears at this point? That's all I got, guys. Thank you. Thank you to Spreaker. This is our new host. So if you hear these little ads, that is because we have a brand new host. So we're so excited to be able to take this little podcast up another tier. We are no longer in the picture menu category of podcast hosting. So thank you for being here. We will see you guys on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for a Monday Night Live. Have a great weekend. Be well. Wear your mask. Hail Heat.